The Black Death, one of history's most devastating pandemics, ravaged Europe between 1347 and 1351, wiping out an estimated one-third of its population. This plague was primarily caused by the bacterium Yersinia pestis, which spread through fleas living on rats. Its impact reshaped the social, economic, and cultural landscapes of Europe, leaving a legacy of both sorrow and resilience. The Black Death likely originated in Central Asia and traveled along the Silk Road, reaching Europe via trading ships from the east. It first appeared in Europe in 1347 when infected Genoese ships arrived at the Sicilian port of Messina. From Italy, the plague spread rapidly through Europe, reaching France, Spain, and England by 1348, and Scandinavia and Russia by 1351. Symptoms of the plague included swollen lymph nodes, buboes, fever, chills, headache, and vomiting. The most infamous form, the bubonic plague, led to visible blackened lumps. There were three forms of the plague: bubonic, septicemic, and pneumonic. The pneumonic plague was the deadliest, as it spread through airborne droplets. Medieval physicians had limited understanding of disease transmission. Treatments included bloodletting, applying poultices to buboes, and using herbal remedies, although these were largely ineffective. The massive loss of life led to labor shortages, which ultimately increased wages for peasants and altered the feudal system. Serfs were granted more freedoms, as landowners desperately needed labourers. Cities and villages were abandoned, and farmland was left uncultivated. The social structure was upended as survivors inherited wealth from deceased family members. Many communities turned to religion, with some interpreting the plague as divine punishment, leading to an increase in flagellant movements and religious fervor across Europe. The Black Death influenced the art of the period, giving rise to the danse macabre or dance of death theme, where skeletons were often depicted dancing with the living, symbolizing the inevitability of death. Artists created works that were more somber and focused on themes of mortality, reflecting society's trauma and loss. Churches commissioned artworks portraying heaven, hell, and the Last Judgment, reinforcing religious beliefs about life and death. The plague was spread by fleas that infested black rats, common in European towns and trading ports. The rats carried fleas infected with Yersinia pestis, which then bit humans, spreading the infection. Some towns attempted to control the spread by killing cats and dogs, unknowingly worsening the problem by allowing the rat population to increase unchecked. In the absence of scientific understanding, people took drastic and sometimes bizarre measures to avoid infection, such as covering windows with scented herbs, avoiding certain foods, and fleeing to isolated areas. The use of quarantine originated during the Black Death, with Venetian authorities implementing a 40-day isolation for arriving ships to prevent the spread of the plague. Many nobles and wealthy individuals fled to remote estates, while poorer individuals stayed in densely populated areas, which contributed to higher mortality rates among the lower classes. The plague subsided around 1351, but outbreaks continued sporadically in Europe for centuries. The most notable resurgence occurred in the 17th century. The drastic reduction in the population shifted European society, leading to economic and agricultural changes, a rise in wages, and even transformations in cultural attitudes toward life and death. The Black Death also led to advancements in public health practices, city planning, and the establishment of quarantine laws, influencing modern disease prevention techniques. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment for more educative history videos.